Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 99 of Pucking Around Podcast. And we got a good one for you tonight. We will be going over a few topics. First of all, are they cooked? Stick them in the oven? Are they done? St. Louis and Ottawa, any chances of making the playoffs? We'll discuss. Also, Mitch Marner, 2 games against his former team in 8 days, home and away. How did that end up for old Mitch? And Montreal has issues in net. They do have a Monty, but is it maybe a half Monty? We will discuss. And here to help me is a couple of my good buddies. And we will introduce first and foremost, because he is the senior member of the crew, Mr. Rick Seligman. What's up, Rick?
Who? You called me old.
The old G.
You called me
He's
old.
The old dog.
The old fart.
I didn't say old. Senior member.
I said
That's a polite way of saying old as dirt.
Yeah.
As
No,
he's older than dirt.
Dirt's just a little bit older than me. He was in the next grade above me.
They went to high school together.
Yeah, different grade.
How's it going, Rick?
Okay. I'm not insulted. Don't worry.
On Rick's left would be Mr. Matt Naughton. How's it going, Matt?
Salud. What's going on, everyone? What's going on?
Going
What's
to
going
the
on?
Super Bowl and losing, Matt Norton.
Those are fighting words.
All right. And above me, my co-host from Pucking Around, from Flyer Gonna Flyer is Mr. Alex Furnett.
Ladies and gentlemen, they said we were done. They said the evil empire had been vanquished, but rising from the ashes, Darth Vader, or should I say Darth May, and Emperor Vrabel are leading the Patriots on to the second wave of the dynasty, or technically third wave if you want to count the 2010s as the second wave. The evil empire is back. The
Somebody's
New England
playing a prank
Patriots
on me.
win the Super Bowl. And I'm going hoodie mode tonight in honor of Emperor Mike Vrabel. We are back.
All right, now that
Whoa.
everybody has left and we have nobody watching anymore, what are we talking about again?
Well, I guess we'll start off with boys. Ottawa and St. Louis.
Okay, don't ask.
Struggling.
Don't.
Struggling. Are they cooked? Let's start with Ottawa. Okay.
Yeah. Big yeah.
Ottawa, like they got some issues now, like primarily goaltending. And it's just they were in a playoff spot like a good chunk of the season. Now they've fallen all the way to 9th in the East.
Have they been in a playoff spot? I don't ever recall really Ottawa being in a playoff spot for any lengthy amount of
Ninth
time.
in the East. Yeah, they were early on in the season. Ottawa was in a playoff spot.
Yep.
They were at one point. They were the only Canadian team in a playoff spot. Actually, not too long ago, maybe like a couple months ago. And now they're literally right above the New York Rangers. Now, New York, we knew where it's cooked a while ago, but now Ottawa's at 55 points. Sorry, I said 9th in the East. It's completely wrong. I'm looking at this completely wrong. But they are currently in the Eastern Conference. They are 15th. Yeah, right behind. So let's start with Ottawa. I'll go with you, Alex. Alex, what do you think? Because you're the resident I hate Ottawa guy on this pod. So what do you
I
think?
don't hate Ottawa. That team just aggravates me because they're wasting my guy, Claude Giroux. I never really had any ill will against the Senators until they started wasting him like the second coming of Philadelphia. That's what I hate about them. Trade him. That's what I want. Now, in terms of what's actually wrong with the Sens, well, let's see. The goaltending's the obvious issue. Olmark has been a mess, and there's been all this outside noise now after the crap that was spewing about him in the team, and then Brady Tkachuk lost his collective shit, being pissed off that the noise started coming around. I don't know if that was legitimate or not. Not going to go too deep into it, but when there's that type of turmoil and shit like that starts leaking out of a bad team, usually negative results continue. They can't make any stops. I feel like their defense hasn't been as good as originally advertised. And, I feel like even their top guns aren't doing what I thought they were this year. Ottawa has a good power play, but as a collective whole, has their top guys really kept up to the standards we expected them? I know Tkachuk missed some time, but Pinto kind of slowed down after a hot start. Stutzel's been good, but not Stutzel versions of good. I don't know. Sen's team just has felt very overrated this year. I think I don't know if they're quote unquote cooked, but I think I'd put them on life support at this point. If they can't get it going before the break gets here, it's time to sell, and it's time to give Claude Giroux a legit chance at a cup. Get him out of there, please. I'm not just saying this because I'm Claude Giroux's biggest fan, but actually, you know what? I'm also going to say that as a neutral fan. Get him out of there because the guy is like a Joe Pavelski that deserves a chance at a cup in his later years.
Rick, any
Hang on, I gotta catch my breath here. Hang on, I gotta breathe for Alex. Hang on, I gotta breathe a little bit.
I didn't speak that long.
You didn't take a breath. I don't know how you do it.
I would be dead if I didn't take a breath.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like you did. What do I think of Ottawa? They suck. They got no goaltending without Ullmark. And now can Ullmark come back with everything happening? Like, what's up with him anyway? Reimer's not going to do the job, that's for sure. And even though we had not a bad game, we beat them, but I mean, they scored 5 on us. But that's because we had Monty in that right now, and that's a problem right now. And but they're Maryland, whatever his name is, not much better.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They got without goaltending. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere, honestly. Yeah. And that's really what it is. Their goaltending is bad right now.
Yeah, because look, I'm just gonna rattle some numbers off. Their power play is at 22.8%. It's 10th in the league. Their PK is not super great, 72.2%. They're 30th. But goals for in the league, they're 7th with 174. Goals against, they also have 174, but they're 26th in the league. Expected goals percentage, 54.56. They're 4th in the league. Corsi, so 53.14%. They're 5th in the league. So I don't know what this tells me right here is like their team is actually going. Their team has good stats. Their team is pushing play. The team is not getting dominated. They're actually controlling most of the pace. They're controlling the play.
Goaltending.
Their goaltending is awful.
Abysmal, yeah.
Awful. Like, Ulrich has a minus 18.3 goals saved above expected, and Merrill Leinen a minus 17.3. Like, that's not cutting it. Like,
has Reimer played yet? Has Reimer played yet?
He's played 4 games. He's actually been half decent for them. But still,
really?
like, yeah. I think he was at a minus. He was like a -1 goal saved above expected. So he was actually like
better than the others.
Just the fact that they had to go to like what is he now? Like close to 40 years old, James Reimer. Like the guy was playing the Spangler Cup like earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Like, they had to turn to this guy because they were getting absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Well, what else were they going to do with Ullmark gone? Who they have? I don't even know who their other. I mean, that's how bad their other goalies in their system must be.
Yeah, and it's surprising because Merrill Leinen was actually half decent last year.
Last year he was. Yeah,
he came in a few games and he played really well, and that's why it's a real and like Ullmark too. Like Ullmark's known to have slow starts, but then we'll just end up picking it up like 10, 15 games into the season. But this year he's nowhere close.
How long has it been since he played? He hasn't played in a while, no?
If I'm not mistaken, he might have actually played their last game. I know he came back.
Oh, he's back? I didn't even hear he was back.
He is, yeah.
I'll check up on that. Matt, what do you think, buddy?
No, look, I think until they get that goaltending situation figured out, they're in big trouble. But there's a pretty sizable gap already between them and teams that are in the playoffs right now. Like, if they don't start winning games, they're in trouble. I know obviously we have the Olympic break coming up, guys will get rested, but at the same time, right, coming out of that, it's a week and a half to the trade deadline, so they got some important decisions to make. I think where they're at, I don't think playoffs is really realistic for them anymore. I think they need to kind of figure out what they want to do for the rest of the season. What players do they have that they could potentially move? But they're still a ways away. They have work to do. So I think for right now, I think they are cooked. I just can't see them being able to be consistent enough to get back into, even get close to the points needed to be in the playoffs.
Well, the one thing I will give Ottawa, so it's a glass half full and empty type thing. Ottawa is only 2 points behind being like the second team out of the playoffs. However, they are in the Atlantic, and that is obviously the better of the two divisions in the Eastern Conference right now. The sixth place team in the Atlantic would be third in the Metro right now. So realistically, by the looks of it, there's a good chance there'll be 5 Atlantic teams in and 3 Metros. So they've got to get to 5th. So they have to find a way to leapfrog a combination of, let's say, Toronto, Florida, who's probably going to get hot at some point because they're the defending champs, and then one of Boston, Montreal, and Buffalo, or 2 of those 3 if Florida gets hot enough. And then Toronto's Toronto. They have playoff experience too. So it's just so much they have to pass. They got to hope for the Sabres to go back to being the Sabres of old. And then one of probably Boston to fall off. And then they need a leapfrog one of Florida, Toronto, just to get in. Like this, I don't know, man. It's just the amount of teams they need to jump versus the points. Points-wise, they're not too crazy far out of it. They're only 7 points out, but the sheer fact that it's the teams that they have to jump, especially being last in their division right now, it just makes it such a hard task. The only team that's 100% out is the Rangers. That team is dead, buried, and launched into the sun. But
100%.
Yeah, Ottawa is just, they're going to need to really probably get on a run where they pull off, maybe not to the extent that Buffalo had, but win like 10 of 13 for me to say, oh, okay, they got a shot at this still. Because just that division is just so stacked. They have to get to at least 5th in that division minimum to get into a playoff spot. So, I don't know.
To your point, though, like, yeah, it is only a 7-point kind of hole they're in, but they need, just to make the playoffs right now. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 7 teams in front of them that need to go on like long losing streaks to give them to make up that amount of points.
Yeah,
with the games left, like that's why I say like it's for me the way they're playing now. It's a long shot because they have to really be flawless. Or as close to flawless as you can get, really, from now to the end of the year to even have a shot. They can't have many slip-ups because,
gentlemen, what do you guys?
It's going to be harder and harder to make that up.
What do you guys think the magic number for Wild Card 2 is going to be this year?
Points wise, Simon?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have to think it's around 92 or something.
So just to do some quick math. The magic number pace-wise, the second wild card team is on pace to round it up to 98 points. So,
okay, yeah. All that, yeah.
So if they don't get tiebreakers, they have 30 games left in the season. That's a total of 16 combined. That's 60 points, assuming that they win all their games. Obviously, they're not going to, but I'm just saying their max is 115 that they could hit if they were to win all their games. So projection-wise, if they want to beat that team on pace to get to 99, they can only leave 16 points on the table the rest of the way. So let's say a record of 20, 6-4. They'd have to go to get to that pace, above that pace that the Bruins are on right now, being the second wild card. That's going to be tough. 26-4. I think Norty does make a very valid point. I mean, the paces obviously can change. We could come back in 2 weeks from now, and the pace could drop from 98 to, say, 95. And we readjust that number. But based right now, just to throw a projection there, you'd have to go 26-4. 20 dash.
I'm saying you basically got to be flawless. Like that.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
I think
gonna
they're
be
at a
tough.
point where, I think kind of teams like that, and that 7+ point gap, you're kind of at a point where, you really got to decide: are you going to keep trying, or you kind of just see what you have, maybe try to make some moves at the deadline? Because again,
Yeah, you're not, like I said, you're not fortunate to be in the Metro, where the third place team in the Metro right now is at 59 points, where that's a little more sustainable or catchable. And the second place team is the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I still believe will eventually find a way to fall off. But yeah, I don't know. I think I give them 10% at best. I'm kind of with you, Naughty. They're gonna need something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, if you're looking at the East standings right now, I think, to be totally honest, from the Devils down, I think all those teams are out. I just can't see those teams getting
I can't
hot
say
enough
the
to
Devils. I think just Ottawa and the Rangers, only for the sheer fact that Columbus.
Well,
and
actually,
New
but
Jersey-
you're not wrong, because you're right. No, I think the Devils and the
Same with
Blue Jackets
Columbus.
are
I think
both
it's just
in-
Ottawa is on life support. The Rangers are dead as a door.
because I forgot that with the divisions, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think so. Back to that point, I think for the Devils and the Jackets, their best chance would be to get that third spot in the division, because again, right? You look at how far back they are in a wild card spot. They're gonna have to go near flawless to get a wild card spot. I don't
agree
think
with that. I agree
so.
with
Yeah,
that.
so obviously the Rangers are caca.
Yeah. Rangers are dead. We all
Rangers are
know that.
cooked. They're done. They are complete. Rangers are burnt. They're fucking overdone.
And they got thrown. They accidentally tripped and fell into the volcano while everyone was fighting up top, trying for survival.
That's the burger that Fern left on the grill during the barbecue.
Yeah, honestly, I had 16 burgers on there. Some of them came out great. Some came out okay. The Rangers burger's the one I dropped and the dog started eating.
They're the fucking grease fire in the barbecue. You're frying some burgers. Just
Honestly,
fire
let's
that.
just spend the next
Fires
hour
everything.
making Ranger jokes. I'm fine with this.
All right. So from one overcooked team to possibly another, the St. Louis Blues.
Oh,
pretty
they're
much
very
also
done.
the
They're
same
way
position
done.
As Ottawa, they are 15th in the West. Now their numbers are a lot worse than Ottawa's.
Yeah.
Their power play is at 17.3, 23rd. Power PK at 74.8, 29th. Goals for 120. They've only scored 127 goals this year. They're they're last in the league, 32nd.
They kind of had a similar problem last year too, right? If I recall, they've had a really hard time scoring goals as of late.
I think last year they scored. I would have to go look.
I mean, we'd have to go look at it, but I know that it definitely hasn't been their strong suit as of late. Like, I know it hasn't. It definitely hasn't now. And for them, I mean, they're 20 points out of third in their division. So, I mean,
Is that bad?
Like, they're gonna have to try to catch a wild card spot. But I mean, I'm looking at it now, and they're, they're a Sharks foot away from being 10 points out of there. It's like,
Yeah,
again,
they're
you gotta go
Naughty,
flawless.
you
That's
said they're
not gonna
20
happen.
points out of third in the division. Is that bad?
Yeah.
That is
That's not
Sources tell
good.
me that is not good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we said it 2 months into the season that the Central Division was already set.
Yeah.
Like, they already had that big a gap. Like, yeah.
Pace
And they're not going to make up the
the
points
other
to catch a wild card
division.
spot.
Well, the other conference, not as bad in the West. Pace to make the playoffs for the Sharks is 90 points right now. So, while I agree, they're probably, again, you have a lot of teams to leapfrog. The Blues max total is 107. So they're pretty much at the same thing. They'd have to go 20-6-4 just to put into perspective. just to get in. Realistically, yeah, that team has already had internal talks about potentially moving Robert Thomas. I've heard Braden Shen's name in trade rumors quite a bit. I think it's time that St. Louis needs to accept at least a mini rebuild at worst. They're going to definitely.
They're moving Robert Thomas. If they're moving Robert Thomas, that's
if they're moving Robert Thomas, it'll be a full scale one.
That's a full scale rebuild.
Yes, that's their 1C.
Yeah, you got to think, right? They move him. Yeah, Shen obviously will be on the block. You got to think Kairu's probably on the block again. I think he's always sort of been on the block. Talks have always been kind of off and on with him. But again, like looking at the standings right now in the West, I think from Calgary down, although those 4 teams kind of basically just have to go.
Yeah.
Not full. I mean, unless you're Vancouver, St. Louis, maybe not a full fire sale, but like those are teams that I think, these teams that are in playoff spots are going to be calling a lot to try to kind of pick their bones a little bit.
Yeah,
per se, like because they're obviously going to be moving guys around. All those teams are out. So,
I mean, Calgary already moved Rasmus Anderson, so they started.
Right.
Coleman's next on the list. That's another team that I agree that they're going to eventually make some moves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Winnipeg's kind of the one that head scratcher there because, like, I think for them, it's really just Hellebuck just has not been Hellebuck since he got hurt. It just hasn't. And the backup goalie sucks. But other than that, I mean, there's talent on that team. Like, I think it's just their goaltending it's just not there. But I think Vancouver obviously is going to be in sell-off mode. St. Louis, Calgary, so we'll see. But I think, from Chicago up, all those teams, definitely there in the wild card hunt for sure. We'll have to see what happens there. But
yeah, I think like a lot of your guaranteed sellers. A lot of your guaranteed sellers right now are in the West. That's for sure.
Yeah, that I agree with 100%.
Like we said, those 4 teams there, like even Winnipeg, like you're saying, like Winnipeg. Look, goaltending has been an issue, but something that I actually brought up before the season started, and it was my biggest concern with Winnipeg was secondary scoring. Like you take away
you make a good point. You make a good point there. They have had a hell of a time trying to score goals. Let me see what that number is actually.
Yeah.
They've scored 149, giving up
149.
So I mean, you look at these teams in the playoffs. That's like that's a 10 goal difference really in terms of the goal scoring. But giving up the goals actually isn't terrible. But I think you're right. I think the secondary scoring hasn't been there, and the goaltending has been a mess.
I mean,
like I said, they're kind of a head scratcher because I don't know if you're Winnipeg. I don't know if you go to a full scale sell off because I don't necessarily think they need that. I just think
no. But I think
they have to make a lot of changes in the off season. But I don't see them as a team again, right? Like those other 3 teams that should be in just full sale fire sale mode.
But whatever pieces they have, like UFAs or whatever, like I think they have to.
They'll move guys for sure. I just they're not, like I said, they're not gonna be in tear it down mode like those other 3 teams. You know what I mean?
Okay. Anybody have anything else to say about the St. Louis Blues? So we stick in a fork here, and that's it.
I think honestly, one last thing I want to add with the Blues. I wonder how big their fire sale could potentially get because they do got some guys that could definitely move. I was just looking at their players right now. 2 other guys I could see definitely getting moved outside of the obvious guys that I may have named are Pavel Buchnevich and Justin Falk, 2 older guys there. I wonder if they could potentially put them on the market as well. I think the Blues could be really loud sellers in the next few weeks.
Yeah. The issue with them also is like they have so many guys with fucking like some kind of no trade or no like protection. Like I think Falk, if I'm not mistaken, has like a 15-team no trade list. So does Shen. Thomas and Kairu both have no trades, like full no trades. So it's like even if they want to do something, like they need permission basically. And it's like
do.
I don't know why they handed out so many of these.
Oh, I know that. God, I first saw that? God, a couple years ago, because I think I think I might have just been hanging out with Cam and we were talking about no move clauses. I couldn't tell you why, and I was like, I think I saw that. And I went, hey Cam, you know the 90% of the Blues roster all has a no move clause, and they're all like 35. I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
I don't know. That's just reckless. I look at them. I think Flock could potentially get moved. He's only got a 15 team no trade, so you might have some leverage there. But like you said, Kyrou, no trade at all. Robert Thomas, no trade. You got to get his permission. Pavel Buchnevich, no trade. That one's a bad one, man. I didn't get that. Now, honestly, I mentioned him as a guy you could potentially move, but now looking at it, it's in year one of a 6-year contract, making $8 million a year.
He just signed. Yeah.
I didn't even realize that, and he's not had a good year. 52 games, 9 goals, 19 assists.
No, a lot of their top scorers. A lot of Robert Thomas is having an off year, and he's hurt also, but he's having an off year. Same thing with Kyrou, like you said, Buchnevich. Like they're not scoring. They're 32nd in the league. Like they're just not scoring. Like it's bad, and they always seem to be in like this retool. Like it's just I feel like they've been retooling for like the past 7 years. Like since they won the cup, they've been retooling since they won the cup, pretty much. It's really, I don't know, it's a curious team, and like they have talent. That's the thing is, you look at their roster, and like there is talent there, and to be that bad, like I don't know. And like, look, Jim Montgomery, I like him. I think he's a good coach. He's someone I've been yelling for the Flyers to hire.
He is a very good coach,
but I don't know. I think it's just it must just be a bad mix of personnel. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Any last thoughts on St. Louis?
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's it? All right. Mitch Marner. So he played Toronto twice, and he's 2-0. He's 2-0 against Toronto. He picked up 2 assists in the game at home, but unfortunately 0
He did jack shit in the game in Toronto.
Yeah, that's why he didn't do much in Toronto. I guess, he felt bad for the boys, like, you know what? I don't want to embarrass them on home ice as long as we win, right? So, Rick, I'll start with you. So, what do you think about Marner's return?
I don't even think about it. Not even at all.
Didn't cross my mind.
Not even at all. And I didn't see much of highlights. I read a few headlines, so I'm probably the wrong guy to go to here. But as far as that, I don't really care. And either side, Marner got booed and he's not happy, so what? And if the Leafs are unhappy that they got rid of him, so what? Good for you. That's how I think.
All right.
It's just Matt, I didn't see any of it, so I'll have to go off what you guys talk about. But I don't have any interest in that, so because you guys know how I feel about the Leafs.
Of course. Matt, what were your thoughts on Marner's return?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to Rick. I was just kind of like, hey, whatever. Like, I knew obviously he was gonna get booed.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of surprised that he didn't put up any points against him, but at the same time,
I'm not though.
It is Mitch Marner in a big game like that,
right?
In Toronto, so that's kind of what happens.
Exactly it. Exactly.
And I'm not surprised that the Leafs lost that game because again, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs in a big game at home on Hockey Night in Canada and Toronto. They don't win those games. They just don't. They don't wake up.
So nothing's changed.
Right, exactly.
So it went as scripted.
Marner got out of the
Toronto
play.
Maple Leafs, same old Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Alex, what do you think, buddy?
No, I did catch a little bit of it. I didn't actually watch the game, but I looked up some stuff on social media afterwards. So he got the crap boot out of him as he went out there, as expected. Not really surprised by that with how things ended there. But not only that, it was like one of those things. Every time he touched the puck, he got crap. What surprised me is when they showed, they have those little highlight reels for a player after the first commercial when they first come back. He actually got a decent reception for that.
I saw a little bit of that. That's what I thought he got a good reception, and I didn't see any more. So I just
I was quite surprised by that. I thought they were going to still give him shit, but I think they felt like, all right, they're honoring his time as a Leaf here. Let's not be too hard on this dude, even though we can't stand his guts at this very moment. We'll give him a little cheer for the time being, then we'll go back to hating his guts afterwards. I will say, I thought it was going to be worse. I thought we were going to see Tavares on the Islanders type of hatred. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I will say, and again, even the Leaf fans didn't come up big. I thought they'd eviscerate him a little bit more than that.
Because they realized
a fan base that knows how to hate a player after what we've done to a certain player in Anaheim.
Yeah, but they realized how much they actually needed him on the team. I think that's why they didn't boo him as much, as you might say.
We realized how much we needed a certain someone in Anaheim on a team, but it doesn't stop us from crapping on him and kicking the shit out of him every time we play him.
Yeah, because he was never in your lineup and not for 9 years.
Yeah, I guess that's valid.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, a little
We
bit.
still hate him. But anyway, yeah, reception-wise, I give the Leafs fans a 6, maybe a 7. I thought they'd be a little more on him. Marner didn't really do too much in the game, but his team sure did and went belt to ass on the Leafs, who, mind you, are starting to free fall a little bit. So, yeah, I was
Starting to.
it was a interesting
Were they
game.
were they ever high enough to fall though?
Right. I was like,
Well, I mean, they were right there. They were in a playoff spot, I think, like a week and a half ago. Now they're 5 points out. So
they weren't in a play. They were just on the
Were they?
edge of the.
I
Of
thought they
a
were in a
wild card.
playoff spot at one point.
I don't think they were on
They
the
were
edge.
for like a split second.
Maybe
They
like
were for like a couple days, and then I
no.
back
Because
out.
I cover that for every stream I do. I look at the standings there.
And
They
you
were
like
on-
to crap on Toronto.
They
Good
were
point.
just outside of wild card. Is the best I saw them get.
Yeah, I think so. Because I don't
Pretty
ever
sure.
remember, like, unless it was maybe like the first couple games of the season, even at that.
But
I don't
he
think they
might be right.
haven't
Maybe
been in a playoff spot all season.
no, maybe they were in a wild card spot for a couple of days. I'm not sure now.
I right at the beginning of the year.
No, I mean, no, I think he's talking about in the last few weeks.
They might have been there for like
day
literally
or
might have been
two.
a few hours. They might
For
have
a
won like
day-
an
no,
afternoon.
for a day
game,
or
I think.
two.
Popped
For a
up there.
Yeah, I
and
think
then
it was what Rick said, for about a day or two.
A day or two. Yeah,
Yeah.
enough for me to actually. I think I remember actually saying it. They're in a wild card. I said something about it on the stream, but then they were gone. They haven't gotten back in there.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Right? It was something along those lines.
Yeah, and that's not
Yeah.
lofty heights being wild card too.
Yeah, wasn't long.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they were in a playoff spot. But point being is Toronto has started to fall a little bit, and now it's noticeable.
They're not
Yeah.
making the playoffs.
Toronto, yeah.
They're not
Toronto
making
could really
the
use
playoffs.
Mitch Marner, that's for sure.
They're not
Yeah.
making the playoffs. Toronto. They're not.
I'm telling you, they're not.
At this point, I'd say it's under 50% for sure. I'd put them at like 30.
I honestly, I put it like, and I'm being generous here. Maybe, I didn't want to say 10%. I don't even think it's 10. 5%. I give them a 5% chance.
I think that's a little excessive. They're not that far out.
They're 5 behind Boston for second in the wild card. Like, I don't know, man. Like, and they're just so goddamn inconsistent.
They
And
are. I still put it at 30 because they do still have their high-end talent in their top 6. That's the only reason why I say that. But
I don't know.
we'll see.
Look, yeah, but Willie's hurt right now. I don't know what his timetable is.
And it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're going to be in big games, probably to close some teams down, and they're going to shit their pants.
I can
It's
tell you what.
Rick
I
is
know, I
that
know.
not what they do?
I know what Nylander's timetable is. It's this.
You got $5,000 fine for that.
Yeah. What an idiot to do that to a CBC camera or whatever, whoever.
That was
filming.
real smart. Good
What
job,
an
Willie.
idiot.
TSN, I think it was.
TS,
It
yeah, whoever.
was a
But what-
regional game.
he said he was frustrated with, oh, poor baby.
Do you think he asked for a trade?
Why is that a rumor?
The hell?
No,
Who's going to take him?
I haven't heard anything. Look, I haven't heard
Nylander?
anything. Yeah,
Should I
Honestly?
take him?
He seems frustrated enough right now. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but you got to free up money for it though.
We have money. That's not an issue.
How much money though? He makes like $11.5 million.
We got about 13, I think, right now, and then we're going to be hitting.
You want to pay him that kind of money? You want to pay him that?
Nylander, honestly, was the only guy I think from Toronto.
I'm not hesitating on
that
at all.
Toronto stink at him.
That big four that has any balls.
Yeah, but he's got like that Toronto culture, that losing culture.
Bro, we haven't made the playoffs in over half a decade. I don't give a fuck at this point. I just want to make it. We'll talk from there.
All right.
I don't know, but like I was, because you mentioned what he did on the camera and everything, and he's frustrated the season that the Leafs are having, and like honestly, do you see like I know the Leafs weren't on the topic really, but like, do you see a way out for the Leafs? They have nothing. They want to trade their way out of it.
Help. Big whoop.
Rebuild. That's what I see.
So I'm like, honestly, it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me if like towards trade deadline or at least at the end of the season, you start hearing rumblings of like
Matthews wants out.
Nylander's not happy in Toronto. He wants out.
And Matthews too. You don't think Matthews is going to want out? Matthews look happy to you?
But honestly, I think. Okay, I have to be careful the way I say this.
Why? It's the Leafs.
I think Nylander might have more value than Matthews.
Oh,
I agree with that, though.
Matthews is damaged good still. I still am not 100%. He's at 100% healthy. I know he's been better lately, but still Nylander has old.
In my mind, Nylander has more value. I don't give much value to
I agree with you.
I think he's got more value.
Yeah, because like, look, I think Nylander, you can get at least a good 2-3 pieces for this guy, especially like still got them. Yes, look, he's making a lot of money. I'm not saying he's not, but with the cap going up and with the lack of like players in free agency, like you're gonna have to trade for these guys.
Oh, teams will be interested in Nylander. There's no doubt. I'm not saying teams won't be interested. For sure, there will be.
Yeah, and like, look, this is something. Like I'm pretty sure all of us have said this. This is something the Leafs should have done like 3 years ago. They had to choose one of Marner and Nylander and trade one of the two, and get like at least a really good defenseman and get some other assets that you could like build along the margins. But they didn't, and they let fucking Marner walk.
So, and now they're paying for it.
Exactly, and their defense is old. They're slow, and they can't move the puck.
They don't have prospects.
Nope. They have Easton Cowan, and that's about
prospect.
it. Easton Cowan, he's playing right now.
You gotta move. You gotta move some. You gotta move some of these guys that are gonna bring you back some pieces and whatever you got to do. I think, but I hope they don't do that. And I hope they
Rick loves taking any opportunity can to shit on the Leafs.
And I hope they end up at the bottom of the fucking league. That's what I hope.
No, well, it might happen. They might be sellers. Honestly, they're probably gonna be
sellers. I think they'll be a soft sell. Won't be a major.
They're not gonna like sell guys a term, but like whatever you have that's walking at the end of the season, get rid of it and get whatever you can for them. Like pretty much that's pretty much it. And like it's unfortunate because look, Scott Lawton, right? We traded him we traded him there last year. He's having a really good season, Scott Lawton. He's having a very good season this year for the Leafs. But now it's like this is like a major decision now Toronto has to make. Like you're not making the look. I don't think they're making the playoffs. I really doubt they're making the playoffs. So you got to move Scott Lawton. You got to get what you can for the guy.
Okay, but what are the chances that they feel they're not going to make the playoffs and won't go for it, though? What are the chances that they see that, maybe we should be sellers a little bit here? That's Rick, the thing, right? What are the chances?
If they don't see it, like I'm like, I don't know what kind of colored glasses you're wearing, but I'm sorry.
It's Toronto. What do you mean? What kind?
You're not making the playoffs. Like, whatever. You're 5 points out. I don't care. I don't care that you're 5 points out. Your team's garbage.
Yeah.
Your defense is terrible. Your goaltending is another injury away from completely imploding again.
Yeah. What they need to do is at the break, they should reevaluate and make some proper decisions. But they probably won't, though. I mean, it's the Leafs.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Talking about goaltenders. There's a couple guys having a little bit of a tough time in Montreal there.
Yep.
Is there issues in net in Montreal, Rick? I'll start with
No. There's no issues here. Nothing
You
to
sure
see
about
here. Move
that?
on. There's
Sounds
nothing
like
to
some
see here.
sarcasm.
Yeah, I
Would you
mean-
like me to rattle off some numbers?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So we'll start with Samuel Montembeault. Minus 7.8 goals saved above expected. Now, this is according to Money Puck.
And this was a guy, by the way, who finished at one point in the top 5 in the league last year.
Yeah.
Goals saved above expected.
Now, again, that's according to Money Puck. According to Hockey Reference, it's even worse. It's a minus 15.2. Almost
Jeez,
double.
how's it double? That's crazy.
I'm not 100% sure. That's probably the algorithm that's a little bit different, maybe.
Something's different.
But what point is, he's not saving what he's supposed to be saving. 869 save percentage and a 3.46. Now that's Montembeault. Dobish, who actually had a pretty hot start to the season,
He did.
regressing. He's at an 887 now and a 301, and he's at minus
winning.
5.6.
But he is at least winning.
At least, yes. He's 15-5-3, Dobesh, and Montembeault is 9-8-2. So he's like
Okay,
barely
right?
over 5. He's not even technically over 500, Montembeault.
No, but at least Dobish is getting the wins. His numbers that way are good.
And,
You scared the fucking shit out of me.
New York Rangers have started their sell-off. Carson Soucy to the Islanders for a 6th round pick.
Bro, that happened like
What,
6
six?
hours ago.
You waited till we're like
now.
40
I hate
minutes
this
in-
kid sometimes.
You waited
No,
40
it's a
minutes
third.
into the
It
show
wasn't
for that.
confirmed. It wasn't confirmed until like 10 minutes ago.
Ah, well,
All they
still.
got was a 6. I
That's
know
not-
Soucy's
that's
like
not-
a
That's a
not-
9.
cool package, I will say.
Carson
Yeah.
Soucy. That's not worthy of giving me a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, well, I don't get to hit the breaking news button a lot. God damn it! So
Oh, you got excited.
it's a
I hit
third,
it last week, to
2026
be fair,
third round
Nordy, when
pick.
we had a goalie fight.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say, Matt? What?
The 2026 third. My bad. Not a 6. It's a
Oh,
third.
okay,
Yeah.
a third. Okay, that makes more
Huge
sense.
trade.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back to Monty. Here's a stat. Here's a stat.
You don't want to talk about Soucy?
Out of 25 games where the Habs were ahead with Monty and net, they lost 21 of them.
Ooh,
That hurts.
Yikes.
that's a rough.
That's the one that really hurts. That's a problem.
And most of that was at the beginning of the year, but he's starting
Also-
to kind of crack again the last couple of games he's played.
Lowest Habs save percentage by a goalie with 15 plus games in a season. He's got the 6th worst, 869. Yeah, so. And that's like he's there with those are 80s goalies that had in 70s that had horrible numbers, basically. So yeah.
Especially
Yeah, it's
for
a
that
problem.
time, too.
I really like Monty. I really believe in him. I still kind of do, but he's really in a bad place right now.
Rip Monty.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Looked like he almost came out of it, and then I don't know. He's going back in to the bad place.
what do you think is the solution there, Rick?
Okay, I do. We were talking about it on our pod.
Sam Erson.
No, the solution
Yeah.
is got 5 games going into the break, right? We got 5 left. You ride Dobish. Maybe
Yeah.
Monty plays 1. During the break, you work with both of these guys heavy. You work and you work and you work it out of them. And last time they sent Monty down to Laval for a 2-game stint, and it worked because he came back and he was good, but he's fallen off again. And it was just a 2-game stint that he went for. You got 3 weeks to work with the guy. That should be better. And I don't see another solution unless you go find another goalie and you move him. There's a rumor of, and I don't know, serious, but we're talking about St. Louis, about moving them to St. Louis for Binnington. I don't know that I like that.
Bennington has absolute shit numbers this year too.
Yeah,
though.
but you're moving 2 guys with shitty numbers for each other. That's what they're talking about. I don't know how the validity of that, but it's a rumor.
I would have to see, like, what's Monty's
I'd trade
contract?
I would trade him for Hoffer before I trade him. Bennington's got a worse fucking save percentage.
I just
By
think that's what I've seen out there.
0.001.
That's what I've seen out there. I haven't seen any other rumors with Monty yet.
And honestly, Hoffer's been ass this year. Like he's been bad too.
Yeah. But
Binnington had started to play better though the last couple weeks, hasn't he?
We played them. I don't know what we were beating them, I think, and they wanted to pull Binnington, and Hoffer was hiding in the hallway.
Oh yeah.
They got the picture of him looking out like, "What? No, I'm not here."
Like, wait, what?
That's funny, man.
Awesome. Oh man, what was it? I was watching a St. Louis game. I think it was yesterday, the day before. I don't remember. And Hoffer was in nets, and man, it was rough. Oh, LA, yes, it was LA and LA St. Louis. I think LA ended up winning in overtime. And yeah, man, Hoffer looked rough in that game. So
yeah, so I don't
those numbers in general have not been good this year either. And that's I think also leading to St. Louis's downfall too. Like their goaltending has been abysmal also. So
yeah, and I don't see Montreal trading Monty just to get another shitty goalie. Like it doesn't make sense.
No,
apparently
not.
And now in my chat, a couple of games ago, somebody was saying about Marc-Andre Fleury, and I laughed it off. You're crazy. Apparently they inquired though about Fleury. Apparently they did. I saw something today. They inquired if he would be. They
Isn't
tried
he
to work
retired
it out.
though?
Yeah,
he's retired.
Hey, Philip Rivers came out of retirement. God damn it, Fleury could too.
They tried to work out something with him
and
his agent, and they couldn't work it out. Anyway,
well, that'd be kind of interesting. I don't know.
Hey?
Like that'd be kind of interesting. Like I don't know. That'd be fun.
On that Binnington thing, I put out some feelers to a few contacts of mine today about that, and I don't think there's a lot to that. That might have just been like just a random thing that someone put out. But there's from what I understand, from what I know, there's really nothing to that.
No, there shouldn't be, and there shouldn't be.
No, they really shouldn't be.
No, I think the best thing they can do is try to work with him in the break. I mean, we only got 5 games to the break, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they do anything right now, but
we have no back-to-back.
How they get to the break, like kind of what their record looks like going into the break, and
yeah.
I mean, I think that 2-week break too, it'd be a lot of time to really kind of, for Hughes and Gorton to kind of sit down and figure out, all right, like what's the move, because I think once you come out of that break, it's kind of full steam ahead, right? Like you have to have a plan in motion.
Which is what they were planning, from what I understood, is what they were planning to do is go to the break and then evaluate the team. And if they felt that they need goaltending, they were going to look for a goaltender. If they felt that they needed a forward, that's when they were going to try to address the 2C. But it's looking like maybe they're looking at goaltending.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be goaltending.
That's the problem too, right? Who's available?
I still think a depth forward. Like I don't think that the interest in Blake Coleman has died down at all. I still think they really like him a lot. I think a depth forward is definitely still going to be on their mind. And yeah, I mean, depending on how we go into the break here, goaltender could be there too.
Yeah,
because like I don't know. Like honestly, I really don't know who the hell is available. Like I know there's the Jesper Wallstedt rumors out of Minnesota, but they're. From what I understand.
All right, well, listen, first of all, 2 things. One,
if they trade Wallstedt before the
playoffs, Jesper Wallstedt is springing amazing, and I would take him in a heartbeat if they offered to us.
And if they trade that,
Bill Guerin's also an idiot, so you never really know.
But if they trade Wallstedt,
they do that where they are positioned. They're kind of running like an Olmark and Swayman type of
thing. Yeah. Going into the playoffs, why the fuck would they trade Wallstedt? That's dumb.
That sounds like an off-season.
Bill Guerin's a dumb guy.
True. I don't know.
That's an off-season move.
Yeah, that's an off-season move.
Well, I think it could happen in season because the thing is, yes, he's available. Again, from what I've read but again, they want either a top 6 center or they want a top line winger. Like they're not just trading Wallstedt to trade Wallstedt. It's because and I think it was today on 32 Thoughts where Elliot was talking about is like, and he said what basically we've been saying a couple episodes ago, guys, Minnesota's in the Central fucking division. Like they're gonna play.
No, I get it. If they trade Wallstedt, I hope the next day, I don't know who the other guy is, but I hope he gets hurt.
No, but that's it. But I think
That's what they
basically,
deserve.
like they want a top center or a top winger for Walt. Like if they're
Yeah,
gonna
I
package
mean-
Wallstat. So
I still think that's an off-season deal.
Who's older, Gustafson or Wallstad?
Gustafson.
Gustafson's
older.
But I
All right,
mean,
so
like,
he would probably be the one they move.
I know that you're running mostly one goalie in the playoffs, but really,
Yeah.
you want to go into the playoffs and you're going to move a quality goalie like that. You're just creating a hole to fill another hole.
Well, I guess
that's me.
it all depends. I guess also it all depends on the player they get. Like
I guess
if
because
let's say
both-
for whatever reason, let's say now again, like they would have to include more than just Wallstat, but like what if it is for Robert Thomas? What if it's a
Yeah, I
package
guess
for Robert
okay.
Thomas?
Okay, yeah, okay, I get what
It's
you're
a little
saying. So
different.
depending on the trade, yeah.
But yeah, but that's what I think. That's what I think Minnesota's looking. They're not just going to trade him for
If
like
Bennington going back the other way to back up Gustafson.
yeah, and yeah, either Bennington or Holford goes back the other way also, like because they're gonna need a goalie,
Well,
to
yeah,
back up us. So
it'd be Hoffer, I would think.
like you said, and this is what also like why these tandems it's weird in the playoffs because yeah, like you said, Rick, like right now if you look at their games, it's almost like they play one each. It's like they
Yeah,
one gets one game, then the other gets the next, and then one. But if you're not going to do that in the playoffs, and if you're going to just ride one guy, then you know what?
But are you though? If you really have that 1-1-1-1 tandem, aren't you kind of going to do that in the playoffs?
You should. And
Right.
I've always said that if you're going to run a tandem in the season, you run a tandem in the playoffs also.
You should.
But we've
Yeah,
seen
you don't want to
teams,
get there.
but we've seen teams go against it, and like
and they screw up.
I was Boston, perfect example. Boston, Allmark and Swayman, they rotated all season, and then they gave Allmark the job, and okay, go, and they
It
choked.
did work.
He got
they
hurt late. They kept sticking with him despite that. Swayman comes in cold. They lose game 7. Me and Nording laugh at them.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
like
I know.
that's why if you're not gonna run a tandem in the playoffs, then you know what? Your backup being like starter quality is just a luxury. And if you could get a great piece for him or like a really good piece,
Yeah, you got to think Robert Thomas kind of solves that hole they made at center. If that's the guy they can get, I would understand. But if it's not, and they do it for anything less, that's a mistake. You know.
So, but do you? Is there anybody that you have in mind? You think that Montreal like could actually target like that?
I really, like you said, who's out there? Who of any quality is out there? I gotta think that they would.
I'm gonna throw you.
I gotta think that at the very least they would do what. At the very least they would do what I'm saying. If at the end of the 3 weeks they're back to games are back and they not satisfied with the work and what he's doing and all that, well then you got the deadline. You find a goalie, I guess. That's what I think.
This is being stupid.
Go now. Matt, I talked over you, no?
No, you're good.
I'm
I've said
done.
my piece.
I'm done. You're good now.
I've said my piece. I'm cool.
Okay, but nobody heard your piece because I talked over you.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, no, I mean, I think for me, like, again, like I just think right now the best course of action, play these 5 games, go into the break and evaluate. Like, but they're gonna have to make a decision coming out of it because other than the goal, the Habs are a playoff team. I think we all know that. I think the league, fans all over the league know that. I think the offense is there. It's scoring a lot of goals. There's been some defensive lapses at time, but again, still learning on the back end there. But for the most part, the defense has been pretty all right. It's been the goaltending, and I'd hate for goaltending to be the reason that this team, maybe doesn't win around like Rick, that you and I think they probably could if they even get like league average goaltending. I think they're a team that's built to win at least a round right now.
But I'm gonna challenge what you said there in that the defense has something to do with this. I'm sorry, the defense has.
No, it does, but like there's also been times where he's let in goals.
Yeah, but it's a combination. The defense aren't innocent in what's
No,
going on.
I'm not saying that they are innocent, but I'm saying though, for the
That's
most part, they've been all right. They've done their
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
There's been times, for sure, where they've just had blown coverages, but there's also been times where that's happened, but you need a save there. Like, you know what I mean?
Like
the last night Saturday night against Boston, like he cannot let that Fraser Minton backhand go in ever.
Yeah, no.
There's no reason that puck should have went in the net. Like times like that where it's like, man, like
that's where he's at fault, definitely. But there's a lot of times where the defense really lets him down. So it's a combination, probably more so on Monty than on the D, but the D are a little bit at fault.
Yeah. I have a name. Okay. Now he's struggled in the past, but he's having a bit of a bounce back season. Philip Grubauer.
Nope.
No. Okay, that's it. No, forget it.
I have a name. Sam Ersson.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dan Vladar would be a good pickup.
Yeah, I take
No.
I take Vladar.
He's actually decent.
Who says no? Sam Montembeault for Dan Vladar. Let's do it right now.
Suck my ass. Sam Ersson for Sam Montembeault. Suck for suck.
I mean, at
Wait,
least
I take that back. What's Montembeault's contract?
He's
got like a year left at 3
1 year left
something.
at 3.
Yeah. After this year?
Yeah, 1 year left at 3.13, I think it is.
You know what? I'd actually consider that.
For Dan Vladar? Deal.
Vladar? No.
No, not Vladar for Ersson.
Well, we almost got him, Matt. We almost got him.
I would never do that.
I know we did.
We almost
I said go for Ersson. It'd be suck for suck where they both get new starts.
Yeah, no, we don't want.
I know we don't need Sam Ersson. Montembeault at least does make saves now and then.
Listen, I honestly think Monty can be fixed with
that's
really
why
good work.
I take him here and you can have Sam Ersson if he sucks.
No, but he can. I think if they work really hard in the 3 weeks for the Olympics, I think he should be okay.
Okay, but I just want to read you Grubauer's numbers. Okay, he's played 20 games this season. He has a 2.41 goals against average, a 918 save percentage, and 10.78 goals saved above expected.
For who? Who's he playing for? Can't remember.
Seattle. He's playing for Seattle. Now,
but do you trust that he's back or he's having a good streak right now? Because he's sucked for a few years now, 2-3 years.
Yes, he did. He was really bad for a couple of years. And his last playoff appearance was 3 years ago. And in 14 games, he had a 299 goals against and a 903 save percentage. So not bad. And when he was in the playoffs last. But look, yes, he has struggled the last couple of years. And maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe he was dealing with something, but now he's back. But basically, look, he's making 5.9 and he has 1 more year after this also. So like Monty. Does Montreal take a chance and swap those guys and say, you know what? I'm going to gamble that, Grubauer refound his game and he continues his hot start with Montreal. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
My guess is no, because I think Monty's got something that's going to actually get him through this, and that's his character and just who he is. And I think he's got that right kind of makeup that he can get through this and be fine, where I don't know about that with Grubauer at all. So, I'd rather give Monty the opportunity, honestly.
Okay. No, it's fair. Look, the guy was really good last year, and he was he made Team Canada. So
he was really good last year.
Kind of slim pickings for Canadian goaltending, but
that guy didn't just go away. He's still there. Maybe Montreal needs a new goalie coach, because when he went to Laval, he kind of fixed it, got back here, and it went sour again. And maybe the goalie coach could be a problem here.
Yeah, very well could be. And I think that's something that, obviously management will analyze and kind of, look that area too.
So I don't know, but I'd rather have Monty at his, at what he can be than Grubauer.
Okay, fair. All right. So, anybody with some final thoughts before we kick it?
I think we're cool. I would say
Nobody's
my
got final thoughts.
No?
Yeah,
No?
that's probably it
All
for
right.
me.
Okay. Well, my final thought is, hey, everybody. Our next episode is number 100.
Big one. Live stream too.
I think I
Yeah.
ahead of the guy.
We most probably will be taking a week off, so the next episode will be in 2 weeks. Some little birthday festivities or celebrations in the works. So we'll get back to you. Watch our Twitter. Watch wherever we post this. Check it out. You will be informed. And like usual, please, guys, if you liked what you heard, you liked what you watched, whatever, please like, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Drive to 500. We're only about what? Alex, what do you got? Like 167
All
away
right,
or something?
330. Well, 165 out as we speak.
165 out. Okay, so we need another 165 subscriptions. Come on, boys. We could do it. We could do
Each
this,
and
guys.
everyone helps.
We can
appreciate
do
y'all.
it. Do it. Do it.
Tell a friend. Tell your enemies. I don't care. Tell somebody. Like, just tell anybody.
Open your window and scream it out.
Exactly. You
There
know,
go.
just or one day, you know what? Just randomly walking down the street, say, "Don't fuck with media," and then everyone's like, "Hey, the fuck's your problem?" It's like, "Hey, don't fuck with media," and then like they'll check it out, and who knows, you know? So we'll see. So all right, well that'll do it for us tonight. For me, for Matt, for Rick, for Alex, everybody, have a good one. Enjoy another week of hockey, and we'll see you soon.
Ciao,
Ciao.
everybody.
Ciao.
Promise that you'll